Hey guys, welcome back to Games of War. Today's episode asks the single question: are you a fan of collector's editions, or do you think they're a waste of money? Now, if you ask me that personally, I will give my answer at the end of the video. But if one were to look around my game room and just take a look at my taste and see what I have, one would assume that yes, I'm a fan of collector's editions, and no, I don't think they're a waste of money. But it's kind of a loaded question when you kind of break down your criteria for buying these collector's editions. No one can argue the simple fact that collector's editions are kind of the norm these days, where going back in older console generations, it definitely wasn't. Sure, you got the odd Earthbound big box set, and maybe on the PS2 and Xbox, a few steelbooks here and there, and maybe some RPG box sets, but nothing like it is today. There are collector's editions for damn near almost every major release. Almost every RPG has some kind of box set or first run edition, and it's really gotten out of hand, and I've really got to really think now before I go ahead and just buy a collector's edition. So let's go ahead and break it down into the basic groups. Collector's editions, handheld. Absolutely love handheld collector's editions, and I don't think it's a waste of money. Now let me get out of the way real quick. I believe that there are a couple different kinds. You've got, like I've aforementioned, a lot of times RPGs will have the initial print run. It will be like a limited edition little box set with maybe a larger box, an art book, a soundtrack, nothing crazy, no like huge statues or anything. It's the first print run, and once that first print run sells out, then it's just back to the standard edition. Now a lot of times these are just standard regular price, and it's the lucky first come first serve that get these initial editions. Games like the Etrian Untold series on the 3DS, Code of Princess, the Soul Hackers on the 3DS. Those are all like little, just bigger boxes. Project Cross Zone. They have nice little art book soundtracks. Really cool stuff that kind of further brings the game world something tangible. You know, art books with concept art, soundtracks, nice posters. I really enjoy those day one print runs. So those aren't a waste of money at all. And I even enjoy the bigger RPG collector's editions like Bravely Default, Bravely Second, Shin Megami Tensei 4, even Nintendo with Majora's Mask having the little Skull Kid figure. I really enjoy the collector's editions for the portables. They're generally either the same price for the first print runs or maybe $10 more at tops. So it doesn't really get into the crazy price amounts, and it works out well. Same with the Vita. A lot of great limited editions. Even on the DS and PSP there was some great box sets. The PSP with the Ease games. The DS had games like Solo Torobo and other Radiant Historia with the first print run. So nothing new on the handhelds. It's been doing it for quite some time. Definitely not at the rate at which they're coming out now. It seems like almost every new Vita RPG has like a little box set on the NIS store or the Square Enix store, same with the 3DS. So I fully support the handheld collector's editions, and I really enjoy them. Will I just go buy a 3DS RPG because I think it has a cool collector's edition if I'm not going to like the game? That's a problem that I had in the past, and the answer is no. I will not do that anymore. In the past, I had bought collector's editions because I thought, oh man, this box looks awesome, or for whatever reason, and I didn't really want to play the game. I just wanted the collector's edition. Maybe thinking it might go up in value, which is another big thing with collector's editions. Do these things get more valuable as the time goes on? And that's another loaded question as well. We have seen lots of collector's editions on the consoles that are overpriced, that get way too many print runs of said collector's edition, and a month later, 2 months later, when they haven't sold hardly any, you see them just in a pile at a Best Buy or GameStop, and they're slashed in price. So that can really be a problem too. And this is kind of transitioning into the console aspect of collector's editions. And it can be very tricky. First of all, let's take a look at one problem right away. Something that needs to be factored into your purchasing is just the size of these massive collector's edition boxes. Some of the games that have statues in them come in these boxes, and these are essential to keep because you don't want to throw away part of the collector's edition. And I threw some smaller collector's editions up there for a size comparison: No Man's Sky, Songs of the Deep, and Halo Wars, just to show you how massive these boxes are. If you look in my closet, I kind of had to play Tetris, kind of organizing and rotating package sizes that all fit up there. Now here, taking a look at the Deus Ex Mankind Divided, no collector's edition is the same size. So there's always going to be some awkward shaped box that you're going to have to try and make room, try to make fit in the game room. And if you're running cramped on space as it is, definitely the size of the boxes is something to consider. One of the main factors in determining whether a collector's edition is going to be a waste of money for you or not, or whether or not you want to drop some big cheese, because these are all collector's editions that come with statues, and that's going to bump the price up pretty high. And going into a collector's edition thinking, oh, I'm going to buy this and it's a collector's edition, it's going to get rare, and it's going to be worth a ton of money. It's really tough in determining what is going to happen. There's no foolproof way to kind of see what's going to actually be rare or collectible. You look at The Last of Us. Now, their previous game, Uncharted 3, had a collector's edition with the statue of Drake. It's a big AAA developer. There was a lot of copies made, and there was a lot of those made, and it kind of sat on shelves, and it was discounted, and they couldn't get rid of all the Uncharted 3 collector's editions. Now, one would have thought The Last of Us would have followed suit, another big AAA game. This was rare upon release. It was hard to get. They didn't make a lot. It was expensive as hell, and it sold out immediately. And this statue is getting pretty crazily expensive. A very quality statue and a great collector's edition, but could you have predicted that? I don't know. At the other end of the spectrum, the Skyrim collector's edition. A very well-received game, very popular game. This was very expensive. It came with this dragon statue and a really nice art book, but it was really expensive. I think it was like over $150 when it first came out. And they made a lot of them, and I remember seeing it discounted in Best Buy, seeing stacks of them, and they couldn't give them away. And now I checked just a few days before I made this video, and the prices on this is starting to rise again. So there's no real rhyme or reason. The Witcher, fantastically detailed, very heavy statue, very quality. This has retained its value. This is not easy to find. So you can look at 3 different examples, and there's no real easy way. So buying a collector's edition for value is just basically a crapshoot. I guess the best way to do it is just accurately judge how much you have an attachment to the game, how much you want to own some tangible merchandise. All 3 of these statues were extremely pricey upon release, each over $150. I believe the newest Mirror's Edge was up to $200 when it first came out. That's how much the maximum retail price was. I waited on all of these. I did not want to drop that much money. I knew I wanted them, but the order, I actually waited about 4 months after, and this collector's edition was on clearance on Amazon for $50, which was well worth it, but I would have been super pissed if I paid full price. Doom just came out not long ago, and this was on clearance at GameStop for $60, which is crazy. Mirror's Edge, $200 when it first came out. Now granted, the collector's edition for this came with this statue, which is, admittedly, it's okay. It's not the greatest statue. I don't know why that was backwards, but this was $200. This was on clearance at GameStop. I got it last week. It was $70. Now, I didn't have the game, but I'm a big fan of Faith, so I really wanted to have this, and I was willing to pay $70. It's worth it. It comes with a nice steelbook, which I am a pretty big fan. I really do like steelbooks. Give me a good, nice steelbook and a nice art book, and I'm pretty much sold on a collector's edition if I'm into the game. Now, I'll admit, I do like my oversized collector's editions with a statue from time to time, granted if it's a game I'm interested in and the statue looks quality. I also really enjoy the smaller limited edition RPGs. The Tales always have nice limited editions with statues that aren't too crazy, out of control, and small little figures like that. They also have really nice steel books and art books and soundtracks. The Odin Sphere Storybook Edition was super nice with a real nice shiny outer box, a nice art lithograph inside, a beautiful art book detailing the game's art from conception to finish, and all kinds of backstory about the remake. The Song of the Deep, really nice steel book, and a little book that was written to kind of further set the story. So I really like the smaller editions as well. Definitely give you a lot of value. These are not too much over the price of the original maximum retail price. Tales are a little more expensive, but you get a lot of great stuff inside for sure. Alright guys, before I ramble on any further, I would like to hear from you. Do you feel like collector's editions are a colossal waste of money, or do you enjoy picking up the odd collector's edition here and there to kind of fill out your game room, or if it's a game you're passionate about, having some tangible items? How do you feel? What do you think? And also, if you'd like to share, what is the biggest letdown of a collector's edition you bought? Just completely subpar product, pissed off, and then your diamond in the rough, something that you picked up and you were just completely blown away with. For me, real quick, Lords of the Fallen was by far the most impressed I've been. I hadn't had this on my radar at all. I got it for a great deal recently, and this bust of Arkin is just completely amazing. Hand painted, super high detailed, it's got some weight to it. I was completely unexpected. I wasn't ready for a collector's in this quality. This is amazing stuff. It also came with a super nice, almost feels like a silk map that is just, I am completely and utterly impressed with the Lords of the Fallen collector's edition. It comes with some DLC items and an art book and a soundtrack. This is top quality stuff. This is how it should be. Completely blown away. Thank you guys for watching as always. Can't wait to hear from you. Games of War is nothing without you.